All right, the first question is 1.1. Now, this is the way I do things. 1.1. So if you're writing in your notebook or if you got your homework printed out, you go to chapter 1, section 1. This is number 7 in the book. Okay? So if you look in the book, in the homework in the book, this is number 7, is similar to number 7 in the book. If you look down here, it says question 2. That question right there means that it's number 2 on your online homework. So there's 2 sets of homework. Well, no, don't say that, Hubert. You'll have Hammies going crazy. All right? There's 2 sets of problems in this class. One set of problems is in the book, and you traditionally go and do that. I don't do that, okay? And the other set is online, and that's what I do. But for some of you that use the book as a reference, you would highlight number 7 on the 1.1 homework in the book as one that we are going over. If you've got your homework printed out and you have it in your notebook, then you would highlight number 2 because that's one we're fixing to go over. Usually I will tell you if it's a question, a test question. I'll tell you if it's a stupid question, or I'll tell you not a stupid question that you're asking it, but a stupid question in the context of this book. You see what I'm saying? In other words, they could have rewritten this question because it's a stupid question. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so here we go. Find for each of the functions y is equal to f of x. Described below, find f of 1. Okay, before I go any further, what did I tell you about functions? What did I tell y'all about functions the other day? I told y'all that y'all all know how to do functions, didn't I? I told you that you learned how to do functions in what class? Pre-algebra, yeah. Hubert. That's right, class. Thank you for the interaction. I appreciate it. Interaction is real good. Okay? So, I get to open my new Sharpies. I love Sharpies. You ever like a certain pen? Well, I love Sharpies. So I buy like packs every semester. I get them at like Staples and they're like $10 a pack. And that's cheap for Sharpies. But anyway, oh yeah, I got to see my people. I don't know why I turned them down. Where are they? There they are. Sorry, I kind of minimized y'all. There we go. All right, so can everybody see my white screen there? Yeah. My white piece of paper. All right, my BA hand and my Sharpie. All right, so you've got any kind of function that you have. We got to remember that f of x is a fancy way of writing y. Correct? And all of you came up through pre-algebra, and all of you did this. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And y is equal to 2x plus 4. Okay, so 2 times -2 plus 4 is what? 0, Hubert. That's right, class. 2 times -1 plus 4 is what?
-2.
About 2. Okay, whoever said that, you're a failure. 2 times 0 plus 4 is what? 4. Okay, now, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. What I'm trying to show you is you've done this. This question that we're fixing to go over, you already know how to do it. The reason you don't know how to do it, or the reason you can't get the answer, or the reason it's giving you problems, is because the picture's in there. Remember Patrick Starfish? Putting on that? Okay? Some of y'all ain't going to say nothing, but anyway. 2 times 1 plus 4 is what? 6. And I bet y'all can get the last one yourselves. 2 times 2?
4.
Is 8. Okay, now look what you have here. You have x and you have what? Y. You inputted X, and what'd you get out?
F of X.
Okay, you got Y. Now, put your pinky up, and now you're going to write it, pinky up, X and F of X. Same thing. But when you plug in X, when you hold your pinky up, you've got to remember it's written like this. F of -2, F of -1, oh, I forgot my pinky, F of 0, F of 1, and F of 2. So whatever's in those parentheses, you plug in, right? So you could put up here, parentheses. Whatever's in the parentheses, you got to plug in. You with me?
Yes.
This is where people get confused. If I give you a function that looks like this, or I give you something that looks like this, when you see that function right there, the first thing you should say to yourself is change that to redneck. Change it to redneck. Y is equal to 4. All right? What if I asked you with this problem right here? What if I asked you this question? F of X is equal to 6. What would you tell me?
Y equals 6.
Y is equal to 6. Therefore, X is equal to what?
1.
What?
1.
I heard it. This is what I heard. What? I heard. Okay, now the Marine Corps is going to come out of me here. The Marine Corps drill instructor is going to come out. When you go and knock on somebody's door, do you do this? Or do you do this? You knock on it. And when you reply in my class, okay, it's called enunciation and volume. You say 1. You don't go 1. That's like going to a party or going to a get together and saying, "Oh, I'm not hungry," and they have pizza and cheeseburgers and strawberry shortcake and chocolate eclairs and all the good stuff. Fried rib, and you go, "I'm not hungry, I'll just have water." Shut up. Okay? So, when you speak in here, you go 1. Not all together, especially some of you loud people, because I know there's some of y'all that's loud and you like to talk. All right, you with me? All right, so what is X when Y is equal to 6?
1.
Thank you. Okay? Now, change this. This is redneck. Change it to your pinky up. F of 1 is equal to what?
6.
Can you slide the paper up?
Oh, I'm sorry. I suck. There we go. Now, there's about 10% of the class going, "Oh, I invented that." Okay, whatever. Go quit. Like I said, if you're one of those people that are bored right now, then you might want to stay at home and create a cure for cancer. All right? But one person in here asked this question. All right? One person asked this question. So that means there's probably 3 or 4 that had the same question. I'm teaching those people. I care less about the space shuttle engineer. I care less about him or her. Okay? You got me? That's who I'm teaching to. All right. So, now that I've explained to you that you know how to do this from pre-algebra, now let's look at the problem. Because this is where you make yourself feel good about yourself, so you don't have to put smokestacks on your truck. All right. For each of the functions, y is equal to f of x. Describe below, find f of 1. So that means we're plugging in 1 for what?
X.
X. So therefore, we're looking for,
Where X is equal to
if you plug in x, you're looking for y, which is f of x. So take your handy dandy piece of white paper.
Can you zoom in on that question?
Can I zoom in?
Yes, sir. I can't really see. I've got bad eyes.
Okay, make sure you sit in the back of the room. That's where most people sit, with the bad eyes. How's that?
That is great.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Now, I want to find out where that person is and see if they're sitting in the back of the room. Yep,
Right
they
here.
are. It's a miracle. You suck. All right, so f of 1 is equal to what?
1.
1. Or you can go back to pre-algebra, the redneck way of doing it, and say 1. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to make the correlation between the pre-algebra that you learned way back in, what, 9th grade, 8th grade, and what you're doing now. Is there any difference? No. I could show you a problem about you ever seen a problem in standardized testing about the frog that jumps off the, FROG, about the FROG that jumps off the stump? Any of y'all ever seen that? Okay. There's a standardized test question. For some of you who don't know what standardized test is, Praxis, ACT, SAT, it's one of those questions that shows up a lot. And it talks about this frog jumping off, FROG. It talks about the FROG jumping off the stump. The reason I spell that is because there's several ways to pronounce frog. There's frog, like car parked in the yard, frog. And then there's frog with a W.
Frog.
Okay? And I say frog, and then somebody says something, laughs at me the way I say it, and then I want to beat the crap out of them. So I just spell it, F-R-O-G. Anyway, there's this FROG that jumps off the stump. Where is he at the highest point? And it gives you the information. The point of the question is, how many students, if I give 10 students that question, 9 of them will not do it because they're confused. But if I reworded the question a little bit and said, draw a chart, give me X and Y coordinates, all 10 of the students could do it. So do not let the functions, do not let that get you confused. Okay? All right. So f of 1 is 1. Now, y is equal to negative 3x squared plus 8. I have no idea why this book writes B like it's writing it. I have no idea why a lot of these books are writing it like that. That's silly. We've got a slope of negative 3, which means our line is going left to right down, and we've got a 3 over 1 vertical over horizontal. And we've got a y-intercept of 8. Now I'm going over some of this for some of you for, refreshing, remembering, because in chapter 2, you're going to be going into graphing. All right? And it says, find f of 1. Well, f of 1 means I'm going to plug in what?
1. Where X
1
is.
for what?
X.
And that's going to be negative 3 times 1 plus 8. And negative 3, and I can't show you both of them, but I'm sorry. I got to go back. Rid of this one. There we go. There we go. And I got it down here. Negative 3 plus 8 is equal to what?
5.
5. Now we'll go back and look at whoever sent this question and see if we answered their question. And then the last set of the last one, I got to get this back down and pull this back up. See, this would be a whole lot easier if I had an Epson and a whiteboard, because I could do it all together. That's the square peg in a round hole that I was talking about we're doing with this equipment. Hopefully next semester we'll be in a classroom with
You should complain. They'll get you one.
I've complained, but I'm in the minority of the minority of the minority. I'm on a campus of T-Rexes, right? Okay. We still have people that want a VCR in their classroom and a blackboard.
Oh.
With me? All right.
Yeah.
I'm in the minority of the minority. So if I want something, it's like, he's like one person. We got all these other people to take care of. Around 2050, Tri-County Tech will be caught up with 2017, and probably every teacher will be doing this. But that's in 2050. And until that time, I'm in the minority. So, just telling you.
But
Where was I? Let's see here. There we go. The last question. Find f of 1. This is part of the question about the FROG jumping off the stump. They tell you to find f of 1, and a FROG jumping off a stump forms a what? A parabola. A parabola, if you're one of those people that don't know how to say it. Parabola. So you've got two y's for f of 1. So what you do is you draw your handy dandy dot at 1, at x is equal to 1, or I'm sorry, you got one y. I'm thinking of two x's per y. I'm sorry. But you say f of 1, and what is f of 1?
negative 2.
Negative what?
2. 2.
3.
No, you're all wrong. You're going to fail.
3.
F of 1 is what? Negative what?
3.
Negative 3. Good. See here?
You know what? From here, it looks like negative 2.
Kid.
Does no one agree with you?
No. Mine agrees with them.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. Blow this thing up too.
Yeah,
I used to ride the short bus, so I can say short bus. There we go. I did. I rode a short bus for 2 weeks when I was in first grade. My mama went up there and told me I didn't need to be riding on a short bus.
Oh, yeah.
They just said that's just a farm boy that don't know how to act around people. Anyway, here's positive 1, and where x is equal to 1, look at there, at negative what? 3. So at that point, it's negative 3.
I never got eclipse glasses.
Huh?
I said I never got eclipse glasses. That might be the issue.
I had to go see a dolphin. Duso the dolphin. You can look him up. He's actually real. I had to go there for 2 weeks and talk to this dolphin.
Talking about? What are you talking about?
What?
They thought I was. Something was wrong with me. All wrong with me was when I was growing up, there was our farm, and the closest farm was 2 or 3 miles down the road, and no kids. So all I had, was farm. That's it. So when I got around people, I went all wild. Caught the jack-o'-lantern on fire. Had to evacuate to college, had school. Oh, I got a whooping for that. Anyway, they sent me to see Duso. But y'all can Google Duso. It's D-U-S-O, and it's this blue dolphin. And you send troubled kids to go talk to this dolphin. And that's what I was, a troubled kid. All right, so let me bring this thing down. They thought I was. My mama got so mad, she thought about suing the college. My daddy did. He almost, not the college.
This is a puppet. It's a puppet.
I know, but they were saying I was, what's the
It's
word
a
I'm
dolphin
looking
puppet.
for?
He's not joking.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Y'all, it's an actual dolphin puppet. He talked to this.
What is it when you ride the short bus? Think about it. Mentally challenged. There you go. They thought I was mentally challenged just because I had a personality.
So they really made you talk to a dolphin?
Yeah, they made me talk. Well, the guidance counselor was the dolphin. She asked me questions. I guess they thought I was being abused or something. I don't know.
That's awful.
And then they put me on the short bus. So I had to ride that little short bus. I don't understand. But my sister tells people that today. To this day, my sister tells that story about me talking to do so. Did y'all Google do so?
I did. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. I'm not lying.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's do unto others or something. Anyway. All right, so let's type in the answer. What do we get for f of 1? We got 1, so we type in 1. And we feel good about ourselves. So we don't have to put on too much makeup and look like Oompa Loompa. B, f of 1. On B, we said it was
got
what?
5.
What?
5.
5. And we feel good about ourselves. And then 1 is -3. And that's good. And now you feel good about yourself. But do you remember doing this in pre-algebra?
Yes,
You did the
sir.
same thing in pre-algebra. Just you intimidated by the what? By the nomenclature, the terminology. It sends you into Hemi mode. Okay? And a lot of people, what is one of the biggest problems with math? People going into Hemi mode, whether it's just doing a question or whether it's doing a test. Okay? That's the difference between a C student and A student, is the anxiety. All right? Look at there. We got another one asking the same question, I bet. Yep. See there? Same type question. Now, right quick, do this question. This is same question, number 7, number 2. 2 people have asked it. And I'll blow it up for do so people. For do so. For do so. And it had a little song, come out, do so, come out again. That's all I can remember. There you go. All right, do that one. F of 3.
What number is this?
Same number. Same number as the first one we did. Did you write down the first one?
Yes, sir.
The same number. 2 different people sent it in. See, I told you, if one person has a question, probably 2 or 3 has the same question. So now, you just think in terms of x. When x is equal to 3, what is y? Well, the first one, what is y?
Negative.
-1. Well done. I would love to program those things in there. I would get fired after the first week. You suck.
If they got it wrong.
What grade are you in? I would be fired. McDonald's is hiring. Anyway, f of 3 here. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 10 minus 27 is what?
-17.
-17. Next one, f of 3. I'm gonna hit 3 right here. Let's zoom it in. There's 3 right here. 3 is equal to what?
1.
1. Now let me ask you a question. Those 2 or 3 people that had this question, how you feel now?
Better.
Better? Good.
Yeah, for me it was just the graph. For some reason, I couldn't get the answer for that.
Okay, good. All right, so let's go on to the next type question. We'll delete these. Go. Delete. All right, this is question 1.2. It's 11 GC. I have no idea what that is. I guess it's in the book, number 11. Maybe has a graph with it or something. Maybe that's what the G is for. Oh, graphing calculator, which I don't use very often and don't really want my students to use. Unless you're in college algebra or calculus. Well, this is college algebra, sorry. Question 6, this is like 6 online. So if you printed out your homework, this would be a question that looks like number 6. All right. And do so size. Graph the function with the graphing calculator. Use a standard viewing window. State whether the graph has a turning point in the window. Well, it has 2 turning points. How do you know that?
Because it's 3. It's like one curve is less than the exponent, the largest exponent, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
The
How
amount
many
of curves.
people knew that? How many people knew that? That means raise your hand. Okay, one person knew that. I just need to know. Because
Sorry.
that's right. When you have a function and you're asked to graph it and you're asked turning points, you take the 3, which is right here, and you subtract 1. The leading exponent, you subtract 1.
It's always the largest, correct? Is it
Yes.
always the largest?
Always the largest. You put it in descending order. That's one of the reasons in algebra you put functions in descending order. That's why I disagree with why they put the -8 in the previous problem. I don't understand why they write it like that. You put it in descending order so you know the leading coefficient and the leading term. The leading coefficient here is 2. The degree of the polynomial is 3. That's a standardized test question, just for you to know. So if you take some accounting GRE exam, that would be a test question. What is the degree of the function? The degree is 3. It's the polynomial of the 3rd degree. That means it has 2 turning points, because 3 minus 1 is 2. Now, you could graph this by plotting points, and I thought it was going to be a quadratic, and I was going to show you something different. But in this case, yes, use your calculator. So, we got to pull up our handy-dandy calculator. So pull up your handy-dandy virtual calculator that you carry around on your phone. I'm kidding. And we'll pull up this would be so easy, so much easier in AC 102, AC 202. Wish they'd give me a room. There. All right, so you take your handy-dandy calculator and you turn it on. And then you hit graph. And again, I don't know how many of you remember this from high school. So, and I know some of y'all invented the calculator, but I'm sorry. You're just going to have to wait. Y is equal. And then type it in. 2x, caret symbol, 3, plus 6, caret symbol, 2.
You missed an X in there.
You forgot the
I
dash.
suck. Second, insert X. And graph. There it is. Now, it asks state whether it has a turning point in this window. Yes, it does. It has 2 turning points. 1, 2. Now, just so you can remember, how do you find the x-intercepts? Anybody know?
When it touches the x-axis, correct?
Yeah, that's visually, but how do you find it on the calculator?
Go
Anybody know?
second graph on
Say again?
second graph, and you'll go to the table.
Good, good. So we got one person that remembers the degree and one person that remembers how to do it on a calculator. See what I'm saying? I've got to figure out how much y'all know and how much you don't know, and that's why I'm being very interactive. I'm trying to figure out how much y'all know and how much you don't know. So hit second, calc, which is trace, and hit 0. And I'm going to find the left intercept, x-intercept, right here. Left bound, that means you got to go right below the x-intercept right there. And right bound, go above the x-intercept. And then go down and give it a guess. You really don't have to do that. It just takes the calculator longer. You're giving it an area to look in. And hit enter. And your left x-intercept is -3. The right intercept is 0, looks like. Now, let's go over a review right quick. And this is just to knock your cobwebs loose. Y is equal to 2x cubed plus 6x squared. Now, somebody tell me, those that can remember, I want you to speak up so I'll know how many. If everybody says it one time, then I know I don't have to cover it. How do you find the x and y intercepts on this function?
would you plug in your first x-intercept into that? Because y equals 0. Put y equal to 0.
Okay, that's defined the which intercept?
The x-intercept.
X-intercept. X-intercept, 0 for y. Y-intercept, 0 for what?
0 for x.
Now, plug and chug. See what you get. That means, take your pencil and paper and actually work. Y'all doing it in here, right? You know where I should be? I should be in your seat. So I can see y'all. Because I neglect y'all. Y'all feel neglected?
Not really.
Okay, y'all don't feel neglected? Okay. Because I was going to call you a snowflake if you did. All right. So plug in 0 for y. 0 is equal to 2x cubed plus 6x squared. 0 is equal to, factor out of x squared, you get 2x plus what? Plus 6. And I'm trying to refresh here. 0 is equal to x squared, and 0 is equal to 2x plus 6. So what's one x-intercept? 0, Hubert. That's right. And what's the other x-intercept? Well, you got to figure. Negative 6 is equal to 2x. I got to turn this sideways. I think it'd work better. Divide by 2.
Yeah.
And x is equal to negative 3. Good. Now find the y-intercept. Now, a lot of you say, well, what is this? This is very, very, very important when you're looking at an accounting graph, a marketing graph, or a business graph when you're trying to find a predictor. What is a predictor? Well, if I make 75 widgets and it costs me $200,000 to make 75 widgets, how much is it going to cost me to make 160? That's where this comes in. Or where do I bottom out? Where do I bottom out and make less money? And that's where the x and y intercepts come into play, as well as the curve and the graph. So y'all, let me put it to you this way. If you don't like graphing, you need to probably drop, because we're going to do a lot of graphing in here. A lot. Okay? So 0 for x. Y is equal to 2 times 0 plus 6 times 0. I just shortened it, because 0 squared is what?
0.
So y is equal to what?
0.
0. So there's your you got 2 x-intercepts, which we showed on the graph, and then you have a y-intercept. That's in chapter 2, which I was going to cover today, but we got questions, and I go over questions before I go over new material. Because the squeaky door gets what? O-I-L. Y'all know how to spell, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's that. So I didn't look and see which one we had. Pull up the handy dandy calculator.
It's
Graph.
C.
C. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And hit check answer. And the graph has a turning point. The turning points are, okay, you got to find the turning point. Okay, well, let's find it. What do we hit on trace to find the turning point? Well, that's called a max and a min. This is where are we at? This is the max, and this is the what?
Min.
Min. So go over here and hit second graph, or trace, sorry. And there's the max and the min. I'm going to find the max first. And find a left digit. That's left, enter. Find a right digit. Right there. And left. That's my area. That's my guess. And there's 1. -2, 8. Write that down. -2, 8. All right, you find the min. Those of you that have a calculator, find the min. No coughing in class. No sneezing, coughing, yawning. None of that. Have to throw you out.
Breathe.
No. Every once in a while you can breathe. I get my red Solo cup.
Zero, zero.
0, 0? Is that what you got? Good. Everybody get 0, 0? It looks like it. There it is right there. All right. So we good on that? So we're going to put, I don't know how they want it. It says type and repair use comma to separate answers. So -2 and 8. So parentheses. -2, 8, close parentheses, comma, and 0, 0. Oops. And we feel good about ourselves. That's how you do it. So you see why a refresher is good? That's why we got questions, because how many of you have forgotten stuff since 9th, 10th, 11th grade? It's easy to do. Like rusty, it's like a chain on a what? On a bicycle. That sucker gets rusty in like 2 days if you don't use it. Of course, some of y'all don't know what a chain is. But anyway, 1.2, this is 21, 9. All right, look at that one. Find an appropriate viewing window. This is a calculator drill. This is not a test question. Okay, I'm not going to test you on whether you can find a window on a calculator. All the questions so far are good test questions. This one is not. Okay, I wouldn't put this on the test. Find an appropriate viewing window for the function. Use the given x values. Then graph the function. Well, all I want y'all to do is graph the function, make sure you can find stuff. I care less about the window. All right? The window is good for, depending on your what? Your own preference. All right?
So how do you find it so you get the right answer on the homework?
Oh, how do you do that? I'm looking at the question. Hold on. Well, that's, oh, I know what you do. You look at the domain and the range. Okay, you know the domain is what?
-11 to 11.
Okay, good. So plug in -11, get your answer. Plug in 11 and get your answer. Or do this. This is what I would do if I was, doing the question. Go here and graph it. Everybody graph it. Y is equal to x cubed. Can everybody see that okay? X cubed
Thank you.
plus 3x squared I hate these 1-hour classes. Minus 9x. And graph. Okay, now don't worry about this. Go to,
Table.
yeah, I'm trying to find it. Where is, okay.
Above
Second,
graph.
graph. And find -11 and 11. -11 is what?
-869.
And positive 11, go down. Is a big BA number 2, 1595. So you've got to cover, in the y direction, you've got to cover from negative, what was the negative?
869.
Negative 869 in the bottom direction to 1595. And you also got to be thinking about that when you put in the So you got some BA numbers, right? What's the BAS numbers on here in the Y direction? Because
Hey.
negative 11 to 11 is all X's, so that don't help. So where's your biggest numbers on the Y direction?
Negative 20 to 40.
There you go. And you're going to have some big numbers, so that's why they set it 20 and 40. And then, of course, you just pick the graph that it is. Here it is right here. And they also ask for turning points. Okay, I need to shut up because some of y'all are going to self-combust. So I need to do a couple of things. I need to get rid of this one. I need to get rid of these two. And delete, because we still got questions to go over. I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to go over here. Hit